As evening settles around me, I feel the slow softening of the day. The light outside dims without urgency, and I let my breathing follow that same unhurried rhythm. I am here now, no longer moving forward or backward, simply resting in this quiet moment where the day gently loosens its grip. I sense the weight I've carried beginning to lower from my shoulders. Not all at once, but tenderly, as if guided by unseen hands that know exactly how much I can release. I turn my awareness inward, letting the noise of tasks and expectations fade into the background. And I come to you with nothing to prove and nothing to hide. I speak to you as the night opens like a calm shelter. I let my voice be slow, my thoughts unforced. I do not rush this moment, because I know this space is safe. I notice how my body settles as I give myself permission to stop striving. The day no longer demands my attention. Its edges blur, and I feel myself arriving fully into this gentle pause. I trust that you are already here, not arriving late or from a distance, but present in the stillness itself. I allow the room around me to become an inner sanctuary. The sounds soften. Even silence feels alive and caring rather than empty. I breathe in as if gathering warmth, and I breathe out as if releasing the last tight places within me. I imagine myself leaning back into a presence that has always been steady, even when I was not. There is no urgency in this moment, only invitation. I rest in the awareness that I am seen completely, yet never judged. As the evening deepens, I sense a gentle covering forming around my thoughts. The sharp edges of the day smooth out. My mind no longer races ahead or revisits what has passed. It begins to rest in simple awareness. Like a child growing drowsy in familiar arms, I let myself slow further, trusting that nothing important will be lost if I stop holding on to it. Everything that matters is already held by you. I feel gratitude stirring quietly, not as a list, but as a warmth. Gratitude for being carried through another day, for unseen protection, for moments of strength I didn't know I had. Even the challenges feel less heavy now, softened by perspective and distance. I do not need to resolve them tonight. I simply acknowledge that I am here, breathing, safe in this moment. I let the night close around me like a protective curtain, sealing me away from worry and noise. I sense your nearness as something gentle and steady, never overwhelming, always comforting. In this settling, I feel the beginning of peace, not forced or fragile, but natural and deep. I remain here, allowing calm to take root, knowing that this quiet is a gift meant to be received slowly. I turn inward again, noticing the quieter spaces opening within my heart. The constant inner dialogue begins to soften, like waves losing their force as they reach the shore. I do not push my thoughts away. I simply let them pass without following. Each breath feels like a small clearing, creating room for stillness to grow. I sense how much my soul longs for this gentle quiet, how naturally it settles when given permission. I speak honestly to you about the restlessness that sometimes lingers beneath the surface. I acknowledge the concerns that whisper when the day ends and distractions fall away. Instead of resisting them, I place them gently before you, trusting that you can hold what I cannot resolve tonight. I imagine these concerns becoming lighter as I release them, like leaves floating away on calm water. The noise inside me gradually lowers, not into emptiness, but into a listening silence. In that silence, I feel a subtle reassurance, as if I am being reminded that I am never alone in my thoughts. I remember how you invite the weary to find rest, not by effort, but by surrender. That invitation feels close now, personal and kind. I allow my heart to slow its pace. The tight places ease as I stop bracing myself. I no longer scan for what might go wrong. Instead, I rest in the awareness that this moment is held securely. I picture my mind settling like dust after a long day, leaving the air clear and gentle. As my inner world quiets, I become more aware of your presence within the calm itself. It feels like a steady light, not bright or demanding, but constant and reassuring. This light does not rush me. It waits patiently as I unwind. I let myself be exactly as I am, trusting that I am already accepted. With each breath, I feel more grounded, more present. The day's echoes fade further, replaced by a deepening sense of safety. I do not need to be alert or guarded here. I can rest my awareness, knowing that nothing is required of me in this moment. Except to be still, I gently reflect on the day that has passed, not with judgment, but with kindness. I look at its moments as if from a distance, softened by evening light. I acknowledge where I felt strong and where I felt uncertain, allowing both to exist without criticism. I recognize that I did my best with what I had, even when the outcome was not what I hoped. I speak to you about the moments that linger in my heart, the conversations, the choices, the feelings that surfaced unexpectedly. I do not replay them to analyze or fix them. I simply acknowledge them and offer them to you, trusting that nothing is wasted when placed in your care. Even the moments that felt heavy now feel lighter as I release them. I allow myself to feel compassion for my own humanity. I notice how quickly I move through days without pausing to acknowledge the effort it takes to keep going. Tonight, I let that effort be seen and honored. I rest in the understanding that I am not required to be perfect to be held with care. As I reflect, I also notice moments of quiet grace woven throughout the day. Small kindnesses, unseen protections, subtle guidance that carried me forward. I recognize that even when I felt alone or unsure, I was never without your presence. That realization brings a gentle comfort that settles deeper with each breath. I release any lingering self-criticism, letting it dissolve into the calm of the evening. I do not need to carry regret into rest. I trust that tomorrow will bring new opportunities, and that tonight is meant for restoration, not reflection without end. I let the day close fully now, like a book gently placed back on the shelf. Its pages no longer demand my attention. I remain here, lighter and more at ease, knowing that all that truly matters is already held securely beyond my effort. I invite your protective presence to surround me more fully as the night deepens. I imagine it like a soft, shielding light that gently encloses my space, leaving no gaps for fear or unease. This light does not press or confine. It reassures and steadies. I feel it settle around me with quiet confidence, as if reminding me that I am watched over with care. I acknowledge my need for protection, not from a place of fear, but from trust. I trust that you guard what I cannot see and hold what I cannot control. I sense that this protection extends beyond my physical surroundings, reaching into my thoughts and emotions, creating a calm boundary where unrest cannot linger. I allow myself to lean into this sense of being covered. The night outside feels less unknown and more like a companion, held in the same care. I remember how you were described as a refuge, a place of shelter in the midst of uncertainty. That image feels close now, personal and reassuring. I breathe deeply, imagining each inhale drawing in safety, each exhale releasing tension. I feel as though I am being gently guided into a space where nothing can harm my rest. This protection feels active yet peaceful, like arms that hold without squeezing, always aware, always present. I notice how my body responds to this awareness. Muscles soften, my jaw unclenches, my shoulders lower, even my thoughts slow, as if they sense there is no longer a need to stay alert. I trust this response. allowing it to continue without interruption. I speak quietly to you about any lingering fears, naming them without giving them power. I place them within this protective presence, watching as they lose their sharpness and fade. I do not need to understand how this protection works. I simply trust that it does. As the night grows deeper, I feel wrapped in a sense of care that feels ancient and steady. It does not change with circumstances or moods. It remains constant, a quiet assurance that I am safe to rest. I allow that assurance to sink into me fully. I imagine this protection remaining through the night, attentive and gentle, guarding my rest. I no longer feel the need to watch or listen for danger. I am held, and that is enough. I feel myself resting within a sense of divine safety that surrounds me completely. It is not distant or abstract. It feels close, like being held against a steady heartbeat. I imagine arms around me, strong and gentle, forming a barrier between me and anything that could disturb my peace. Within this embrace, my breathing deepens naturally. I notice how this safety is not heavy or restrictive. It allows space to breathe, to soften, to let go. I feel supported without being confined. The world outside feels far away now, muted and harmless. Inside this embrace, I am free to rest fully. I let myself trust this safety without reservation. I do not question it or test it. I simply receive it. I sense that this is a protection that does not sleep, that remains watchful even as I drift into rest. That knowledge allows me to release my vigilance completely. My thoughts grow slower and less distinct, as if they are dissolving into the calm around me. I no longer need to hold them together. I allow them to scatter and fade, knowing they will be there tomorrow if needed. For now, rest is my only focus. I feel a warmth spreading through me, not just physical, but emotional and spiritual. It feels like reassurance settling deep within my core. I am reminded that I am known fully and loved completely, not for what I do, but for who I am. As I remain in this sense of being held, I notice a deepening stillness. It feels like floating in calm water, supported on all sides. There is no urgency, no pressure to move or think. I let myself sink into this support, trusting it completely. The night feels kind and quiet now. I sense that nothing is required of me. I am free to rest in this safety, for as long as I need. I allow this feeling to deepen, knowing that I am not alone in the dark. I welcome the stillness that continues to grow within me. It feels expansive, like a wide, quiet space where nothing intrudes. My inner world feels uncluttered now, open and calm. I remain aware of your presence, not as something separate, but as the peace itself that surrounds and fills me. I notice how this stillness carries a sense of order and gentleness. It is not empty. It is full of quiet reassurance. I feel aligned with the rhythm of the night, my breathing matching its slow, steady pace. Each moment feels unhurried and safe. I allow my awareness to soften further, drifting gently inward. Thoughts arise less frequently now, and when they do, they pass without drawing my attention. I remain anchored in the calm that has settled over me, trusting that it will hold. I sense a deep peace settling into my body, reaching places that have been tense for a long time. It feels restorative, as if something within me is being quietly mended. I do not analyze this feeling. I simply let it unfold naturally. In this peace, I feel connected to something steady and enduring. It reminds me that even in the darkest hours, there is a presence that remains constant. That awareness brings a quiet joy, subtle and gentle, like a soft smile forming without effort. I remain here, allowing the stillness to deepen. I do not rush towards sleep. I let it approach me slowly. I trust that my body knows how to rest when given permission. I continue to breathe evenly, letting each breath carry me deeper into calm. The world feels distant now, its concerns softened and far away. I rest in the knowledge that I am held securely, that nothing demands my attention. I remain in this peaceful awareness, allowing it to become my natural state as the night carries me forward. I gently release any remaining unrest that may still linger at the edges of my awareness. I notice it without resistance and allow it to drift away, trusting that it no longer needs my attention. I do not cling to worry or replay conversations. I let them dissolve into the quiet that surrounds me. I speak softly to you about anything that still feels unsettled, offering it without expectation. I trust that even unresolved things can rest safely in your care overnight. I feel a sense of relief as I stop trying to hold everything together. I imagine placing these final concerns into a secure space, like setting down a heavy bundle and stepping back. I no longer carry it with me. My hands feel empty now, free to rest. That freedom spreads through me, easing my breath and softening my body. I allow my mind to drift gently, no longer focused on specific thoughts. It feels like floating just beneath the surface of sleep, where awareness remains, but effort disappears. I trust this transition, allowing it to happen naturally. The stillness feels deeper now, more complete. I sense that I am crossing into rest without resistance. There is no fear in this letting go, only trust. I know I am watched over, even as my awareness fades. I remain in this gentle release, allowing sleep to draw closer. My breathing becomes slower and deeper, each breath carrying me further into comfort. I feel as though I am being gently guided, never rushed, never alone. The night feels like a cocoon now, warm and protective. I allow myself to settle fully, knowing that I am safe to sleep. I do not need to hold on to consciousness. I trust what holds me. I sink into complete comfort and protection, feeling supported on all sides. My body feels heavy and relaxed, my mind quiet and distant. I am aware only of peace and safety now. The transition into sleep feels smooth and natural. I imagine resting fully in your arms, without effort or concern. I feel cradled, protected, and deeply at ease. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to say. I allow myself to drift, trusting that this rest is guarded and gentle. I fade into sleep with a sense of being held, my awareness softening into stillness. The night continues around me, calm and protective, as I rest securely within it. All this I asked in Jesus' name. Amen.